In an age of forgotten gods and shattered thrones, when the sky itself bled fire, the dragons returned. They were not the beasts of legend, but the harbingers of ruin, silhouetted against a sun consumed by flame. From the peaks of burning mountains, they descended, their shadows swallowing kingdoms whole. Cities that had stood for 1,000 years became monuments to their fury, where rivers of molten stone flowed through avenues of ash and broken towers, clawed at a smoke-choked sky. The only song left was the echo of their roars, a promise of the world's end. Deep within the heart of the last standing fortress, King Arion, a ghost in his own court, stared at a map stained with the blood of his people. Every tremor that shook the stone beneath his feet was a death knell for another town, another city, another hope. The flickering torchlight danced across his weary face, revealing a man broken not by a crown, but by the weight of a dying world. A lone messenger, his face pale with terror and soot, collapsed before the throne, his voice a ragged whisper that sealed their fate. "Your Majesty, the eastern sky, it's gone. The fire clans have come." His words hung in the air, heavy and final. As a new sound joined the symphony of destruction, the deep, rhythmic thunder of approaching wings, a storm was no longer coming. It had arrived. The heavens became a canvas for their war. Dragons of molten crimson, their scales shimmering like liquid metal, clashed with scaled titans of sapphire and ice. Lightning and frost met Inferno in a cataclysmic dance, tearing the very clouds apart. Their roars were not mere sounds, but physical forces that shook the foundations of the earth. Below, the world burned. Bolts of pure fire rained from the sky, turning ancient forests into fields of cinder and humble villages into pyres. The age of man was ending, scorched from the pages of history by dragon breath. But even in the deepest darkness, a single flame of defiance can still burn. Hidden within a war-torn chapel where the bones of ancient dragons were carved into the altar, a lone figure prepared for the final battle. She was Ira, the dragon slayer, the last ember of hope in a world of ash. As she sharpened her blade, its steel hummed with a faint blue light, a sigil of old magic forged to answer the fury of the sky. The metallic ring of her sword being unsheathed was a quiet promise. A challenge that blended seamlessly with the distant roars outside. She was not a queen, nor a general, but something more. She was a reckoning. The final siege was an epic of desperation and valor, from the highest battlements. Ira launched enchanted harpoons that streaked through the air like fallen stars, seeking the heart of a descending beast. The sky flashed orange and white as fire and steel collided. All around the fortress, soldiers aimed their bows skyward, their arrows like 1,000 desperate prayers against a storm of claws and flame. Then, with a warrior's cry that pierced the chaos, Ira leaped. In a breathtaking arc from the tower's edge, she met the great dragon Pyrrhal midair. Time slowed as her glowing blade found its mark, scales scattering like embers into the wind. The behemoth crashed into the mountain, its lifeblood of molten fire spilling across the valley. A final, terrible sunrise. And then silence. A profound quiet fell over the land, broken only by the crackling of distant embers. Ash fell like gentle snow upon the ruins. Wounded and breathless, Ira stared at the newly calm horizon. The last dragon's roar faded into memory, leaving behind a scarred but unbroken world. A new dawn, paid for in fire and sacrifice, was beginning. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic tales.